Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to News from the Grapevine. I'm glad to see each of you today. So we have several announcements and prayer requests for you today. I'll start with the biggest, and that is that as of Friday, our Bishop and Cabinet finally released some news and updated guidance about when we can return to worship. So they have set a date that we are allowed to return to worship, and the earliest that we may resume in-person worship is going to be June 14th. What this means is that this is simply the earliest date our congregations in South Carolina are allowed to return to in-person worship, and they did release some guidance to help us make good decisions on how to do so safely and responsibly. Right now, we here at Lexington Methodist Church have a Return to Church Committee. That's its working name. Has already begun meeting and working to discuss, how to return to church safely, as well as when that may be. And so now that the bishop and the cabinet have come out with a date that's the earliest we can do so, and as we begin to work together to kind of gather information and kind of come up with some good plans that are safe and responsible, then we'll be able to figure out when that will be specifically for us as the congregation at Lexington Methodist Church. We will not rush to simply get together as quickly as possible. We want to make sure that we come up with a good, solid, safe plan. And so we have clergy, staff, and lay leadership working very closely together on a plan. Okay, so once we come up with some good plans and decisions, we'll communicate with you in multiple ways and times, whatever it is that we come up with. So please be in prayer for your clergy, staff, and lay leadership as we continue to work together to discern the path forward. Keep looking out for information and updates from us. And remember also that even once we decide to get together for in-person worship again, we will continue these online worship services. We'll either stream or record the services that we do have when we meet in person, so that for those who don't feel comfortable returning or for whatever reason have been advised not to, that'll still remain an option for continuing for worship together. So we continue to remain the body of Christ in the world, gathered as a congregation at work together with one another. All right. So hold in there a little bit longer, and everything will be coming together here in a few weeks. One update for this afternoon is that our children's ministry has a gift for our kids this afternoon between 4 and 5 p.m. Families with children can drop by the church to pick up a goodie bag for each child. There are different bags for 2-year-olds to 2nd graders, and then a bag for 3rd to 5th graders, so it's age specific. So if you're able to do so, give each kid $1 to bring with them when they pick up these bags, and the $1 goes to our snack sack ministry, but do not feel obligated or burdened to do so. We have plenty of goodie bags to go around, and it's not a problem. So it's not like the $1 isn't required for any of those. That's just a way to help give a little bit of extra money to our snack sack ministry that's been very active during this time. So Miss Lori, Miss Katie, and Miss Jen will be there at the church to wave and say hello from a safe distance. A few prayers and praises to lift up today. One, we want to lift up the family of Chip Knight, who passed away this week very unexpectedly. So keep his wife Valerie and son Zachary and TJ in prayer as they mourn his very unexpected loss. And for those of you who wish to know, a memorial service will be held at Radius Church of Lexington at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. We want to pray for Elle Willis. She had shunt surgery this week, and it went very well, and she was discharged to go home, but we want to continue to pray for her and for her ongoing health and recovery. We want to pray for Susan Mitten. She did spend time in the hospital a couple weeks ago, and so far she's been through some treatments. It's gone very well, and she's continuing to improve, but she's still waiting on some test results to come back. So continue to pray for her and check on her, and wish her well too. She seems to be in good spirits. We want to pray for Reve Richardson, who will have a heart cath procedure this Tuesday. And we want to pray for Cindy Vance's mother, who lives in an assisted living facility and has developed some respiratory problems. So we want to certainly remember her as we go together in prayer later on during our time of worship. All right, those are my updates from the Grapevine for you all today. So make sure you tune into our worship service shortly, okay? I'll see you all in just a bit.